I mentioned in our last session that we would talk about the human condition. Now, I want to tell you in advance, by nature, we don't want to hear about this. It's just our nature. There's a certain amount of pride in me, a certain amount of pride in all of us that says, I just really don't want to hear that I've got this problem. The scriptures are very, very clear, very, very clear, that human education and wisdom and knowledge, again, as I've said, provided it isn't against the ways of God, God has no problem with the advancement of things. As a matter of fact, when I think about the fact that I would much prefer going to the dentist today than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we didn't have the speed drills they've got today. And it was pretty painful to go to the dentist. Even if you had Novocaine, it was a long session and difficult. I'm so thankful that I can go in and have Novocaine. I'm thankful that if I have to go in for an operation, I can go under the knife and knowing that there's far better technology in medicine. I'm thankful that the air conditioning in my car is better. But all of those things are simply cosmetic. They're just a veneer. They're nice. I'm thankful for them. But I get just as frustrated coming to a red light as the frustration I would have experienced years ago with something far greater than that. That's the problem. So the scriptures are always zeroing in on the condition of the human heart and why we can't seem to fix this thing. And so when we try to leave God out of the picture, as Paul said, God will take man in his own craftiness, in his own wisdom. And here's what happens. When we are faced with this problem, this ultimate contradiction, deep within us, we'll say, okay, Mike, you may be right. Maybe for 5,000 years, okay, it's true. But tomorrow or next year, I think we're just right around the corner. I think we're going to really do this. That kind of thinking that has gone on for all these years and has been observable and repeatable using the scientific method, and the frustration hasn't gone away. What is interesting is not only has the frustration not gone away, you would think you would at least see some signs of it decreasing, but it's increasing. Even the Gallup poll will tell you that people were happier back in the 50s than they are now, yet we have far more. So here's what happens. Man, in his intellectual pride, comes up with intellectual arguments against the ultimate contradiction. He's still convinced that no matter how much you present to him regarding what is observable and repeatable, he's going to fix it. And God will continue to remove himself from the picture and allow man to try to fix it, but he never does. Here's another very interesting statement that the Apostle Paul makes, one of my favorites. He says in the book of Romans in chapter 1, he says, people suppress the truth because of their unrighteousness. In other words, I'm observing this every day. I'm seeing this frustration in my own life. I'm watching it all over the world. I'm seeing wars and rumors of wars. We're right in the middle of a horrible economic crisis. With all of our knowledge, with all of our technology, with all of our understanding, we can't fix it. We just can't fix it. And so our problem is that we suppress, we push away, we hold down what we observe to be true, what the scriptures clearly predict, though it shouldn't have predicted it. It goes against all logic, which scripture says. We still want to resist it. We want to fight it. We want to say that just can't be. I'll make this thing work out. And God says, okay, fine, I'll back off and I'll give you over to your own way. In that very same chapter in Romans, it talks about professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And God gave them over to their own way. This is the natural progression. This is the box illustration, the stagecoach illustration, the cans of Coke. It's all of these things that we see every single day. Observable, repeatable, undeniable. And the Bible makes it very clear. It's a heart problem. It's not an education problem. And we're going to zero in on the solution to this whole thing as we move into the last couple of sessions.